Beats Planet.
hold on. I was drinking water. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right now. What's good, y'all? It's Voch. It's Wednesday. I try to get some Cowboy talk in during the week. I'm going heavy on draft for, all 32 teams, including the ops or whatever. So, of course, we have a lot of people that have Cowboy questions, specifically have Cowboy questions, and I just want to make myself available to be able to answer those Cowboy questions. Also, I want to be able to give you guys some perspective on draft value. I'm kind of deep into the draft thing now. Certain positions, I'm like 6 rounds in. Pardon me. Certain positions, I'm like 6 rounds in. Others, I'm like 4. But, it's early March, and I got, till April to figure this out. So, y'all get off my back on that. So, what I want to do is just kind of give y'all an idea, just in case you weren't in the know, just in case you kind of knew and just really didn't want to, or just didn't really have a good notion of what was going on. I just want to give you my opinion on position value for 17 overall and 51 overall. And whatever the hell the third round pick is, like what, the 80s? I don't know. Whatever that is. Let me go look it up right now so we can be sure. For example, let's say quarterbacks, because we ain't looking at quarterbacks because Dak gonna get his money. Y'all need to chill. For example, if we're drafting at 17, we have a terrible chance of getting a quarterback that I like, right? Second round, we have a terrible chance of getting a quarterback that I like. Third round, okay, cool. For the third round value, there may be a guy there, but I still won't like him because I ain't really in the market for quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, Google. So that's my vibes, right? Another example, running back. If we were to get a running back at 17, I'd be sick. But if we were to get a running back at 51, I like a lot of guys at 51. So I'm like, yay for 51. And, whatever the third round number is, give me a second. I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you in a second what the third round number is. 82. Thank you. So we got 17, 81, 82. That's going to be my reference for today. And we're going to talk about a lot of players today. So get your notepads and, because a lot of y'all hit me on the tweet machine, like, yo, Voch, what do you think about this player? And I normally hate them. I normally hate these people or whatever. So, but hey, this is y'all opportunity, man. A lot of people, y'all want to fuss with me or y'all just want to pick my brain or whatever. This is your time. So the number's on the screen. If you want to call into the show, the phones are absolutely lit. You can call in whenever you want to. Of course, I'll be getting into the chat box just to kind of, mingle with y'all a little bit because some of y'all may have talked up your anytime minutes anytime. And also, hey, man, just whatever y'all want to ask about, bro. Whatever y'all want to do. Whatever y'all want to do. All right? So we're going to do that. Let me pop my chat box out. We got a super chat. I'm going to get to you in 20 seconds. Hold on. You can count it down if you want to. Robbie Radford. What's up, Rob? He says, got church but dropped that knowledge. Salute. Hey, man, what if I cuss on accident? And you listen to me with your headphones and all that. With your headphones and I cuss too loud in the church. Come on, Rob. But appreciate you for the super chat, my guy. Appreciate you. Anyway, before can I just say this? I was listening to the Dallas radio people, and something so satisfying just happened today, man. Like it was so real. It was so real what happened on the Dallas radio this morning. Like there's a morning show, and then they got 2 draft guys that I kind of listen to. Brian Broaddus is one of them, and then Kavanaugh's the other guy. Kavanaugh's Kavanaugh, but I really like Brian Broaddus or whatever. And both of them on one show. And they kind of go to them for draft knowledge. So what they'll do is they'll be like, hey, what you think about this? And then they'll come back and they'll use that as their draft knowledge or whatever. I kind of hate that. But the morning show basically they all looked each other in the face today and said, hey, man, we ain't got no draft people. They said, look, we don't know what we talking about. And I was so refreshed by the self-deprecation, you know what I mean? Like it was so refreshing to hear them say real shit that we knew already. Like we real stuff because Robbie in church, we know y'all don't know what y'all talking about, and y'all be trying to fake your way to the top, round and around. They just keep faking. They keep doing it. But boy, I was so satisfied when they just said, "Hey man, we don't know. We just we just gonna use this little cheat sheet that we got from PFF." I don't recommend them using PFF, but I was just so satisfied when they said that they didn't know. But also, while I was listening to the radio show, they was talking about, "Hey, the Cowboys did some workouts today." David Irving was one of them. David Irving was super out of shape. So for all y'all that's in the David Irving gang, y'all can absolutely sit all the way down somewhere with that, my guy. You know what I mean? As I take another sip of water as I get ready for my for my dissertation, for my soliloquy, so to speak. All right. So I got offense and I got defense. I got 3 positions on offense. Wide receivers up top, then we got guard and tackle. I don't think we're going to take guard and tackle, but it's on my paper just in case. Then on defense, we got D tackle, edge, linebacker, cornerback, free safety, strong safety. Of course, the defense list is longer than the offense list. That's how it's supposed to be. When we talking about Cowboys, we ain't looking for a whole bunch of offensiveness, right? We're looking for the best player that we can get at 1, and then we're just going to fill out spots on defense. So that's that. Skywalker Steele says, "Young OG, salute." Man, you made me feel old. Got us some big boys in free agency. D tackle, get us some big boys in free agency at defensive tackle. Give me some speed and receiver at safety that can bring it. I feel you. That's what we all want. We want that all Madden team. Appreciate it, Skywalker Steele. We want that all Madden team, man. But we got to take L somewhere. And I'm basically gonna be talking about that a little bit too. So, if, like I say, man, if y'all got questions, man, write them joints down, because I just see a lot of Cowboy media people responding to, like, for example, they say, so hey, y'all think that the Cowboys could take a player like Lakey Fotu in the 3rd round, and Lakey Fotu would do nothing with our team because he's not the type of player that our team would want, but because he's on a piece of paper under defensive tackle, people will say his name. We ain't looking for a Lakey Fotu. That's just not the kind of guy that we typically go after. You see what I mean? So I just want to kind of help y'all out with that, man. That's just one name I said, but I don't think nobody running a 4-3 is gonna put Lakey Fotu at 1 tech. I just don't think that's the case. Let me get into my list. So let's just start with defensive tackle. Day 1 and day 2 value. Day 1 meaning round 1. Day 2 meaning day 2 and 3. And I just kind of wrote down the first thing that came to my mind. Example, defensive tackle on day 1. Yay! If we were to get a defensive tackle, it'll probably be a guy like Javon Kinlaw, right? At 17. I would absolutely be ecstatic if we can get Javon Kinlaw at 17. So I say yay. Now, day 2, rounds 2 and 3, we have to have a different conversation when we talk about defensive tackles that we can possibly get in round 2 and 3. Let me explain. I know a lot of people want players to come in and whoop ass for you day 1. Sure, I don't think that's always going to happen with defensive tackles specifically. Specifically defensive tackles, I don't think they really have a lot of day 1 success. Somebody gonna be like, well, Voch, what about that first round kid from last year that had good? What about Jeffrey Simmons? Well, Jeffrey Simmons was supposed to be a top 10 pick, but he got hurt and he still ended up going 17. That's how good Jeffrey Simmons was. Like, his knee was hurting and he still got picked up by the Titans in the first round. So that's different. I ain't talking about these transcendent level, tackles. I ain't talking about those guys. I'm talking about these standard day 2 guys that we talking about here. Those guys normally have a rough time when they get to the league, and then they grow. Right? They grow. Think about Jaron Reed. Think about Ashawn Robinson. Think about Andrew Billings. Those guys kind of had to figure it out. You know what I mean? They had to get bigger and stronger. They had to get into their man body. Then they had to go and fly like a bird. You see what I mean? So when we draft a defensive tackle, I don't want us to just say, oh, they got to play day 1, because that ain't fair. You're asking a 20-year-old in college body that was drafted in the 50s, 51 to be exact. You want them to line up against a 5-year veteran that's in their man body with a mustache, beard, and goatee that's been lifting weights their whole life and on the NFL conditioning program and lift weights with the best and eat the best peanut butter steak and potatoes, and they big as hell, and you want them to go against them people, it's not realistic. Facts. I'm preaching now. So when we get into this Tristan Hill conversation, and I hate that I got to beat on the table here. When we get into this Tristan Hill conversation, we got to be realistic. I know he was the first person that we drafted, so in a lot of people's mind, he was our first round pick. No, Tristan was the 58th pick. So we have to treat him as such. Here's an example, and I said this on my live stream yesterday when I was just talking about draft in general. Think about Ross Blacklock. A lot of people like Ross Blacklock. He's a tackle from TCU, right? And if I gave you the argument on Ross Blacklock, like if I read you his report, Ross Blacklock is going to be a one-gap player, one-gap penetrator, can give you value as a pass rusher, some pretty decent size, crazy ball get off first step, nasty, explosive, quick on the inside, not the strongest in the world, but you can develop that, and maybe in year 2 you'll have you a quality starting defensive tackle that'll play B-gap. God damn it, I just told you about Tristan Hill. We just talked about Tristan Hill. But people didn't want Tristan Hill because he didn't play day one. It's hard for Tristan Hill to get on the field when Michael Bennett's here, when Malik Collins is here, when Kerry Hyder is here. These are all people that have production at 3-tech in the league. I'm talking to Cowboy fans here. That's why I'm saying this, right? Let me just put Swagger D in timeout because I ain't got time. Let's just put Swagger D in timeout because I ain't got time. Listen, Swagger D. Let these guys develop. Now, if Tristan is whack after year 3, then tap me on the shoulder and say, Voch, it's year 3 and Tristan Hill is still whack. Then I'll be like, you know what? It's year 3 and Tristan Hill is whack. Fine. That makes sense to me. Think about a guy like Brandon Graham who was whack for 2 years. Now he shows up. Think about a guy like Shaquille Barrett who was whack for 5 years. He led the league in sacks last year with 19. You know what I mean? I just don't want us to be in such a position where we rushing guys on the field. And if we were to draft a defensive tackle this year on day 2, you would get a bunch of guys that'll be on your team that probably ain't better than your starters, but you can develop them and by the time they get to their second year, they'll be better. When they get to year 3, they'll probably be even better than what they were at first. Just think about it in that way. So guys like Justin Madubuike from Texas A&M, guys like Ross Blacklock from TCU. I know I'm fussing, but I do like Ross Blacklock. You just got to develop them. That's fine. It happens. Like who else? Guys like Jordan Elliott, who's kind of husky, but sure, Jordan Elliott is a guy that's in day 2 that you would have to probably develop a little bit. You see what I mean? This ain't like a situation where, Voch, this person was a clear first round talent, but he got caught with some weed in his trunk, with 135 pounds of weed in his trunk, or he got caught with a gun under his seat, or he kidnapped his best friend or something like that, and he just fall into the second round. This ain't like a Frank Clark situation. This ain't like a, what's my man that played in Clemson, went to Cincinnati, got hurt, 4th round pick, Carl Lawson, but was fantastic, 1st round pick, but he fell. I don't see many of those guys this year. So when you get a day 2 guy, he's really going to be a day 2 guy. Raekwon Davis, he's another guy. Raekwon Davis, another guy who's probably going to come in and going to have to develop a little bit. He probably won't be a pass rusher for you, but he'll be a good first and second down guy, solid versus the run. You know, he may go to a team that'll 2-gap you or something like that. But, you know, Voch, people forget D-Law started off slow. D-Law couldn't stay healthy to save his life, and he absolutely started off slow. And D-Law played because we ain't had no other choice. D-Law played because we was whack at defensive end. Tristan Hill ain't have to play because we had 3 techs. So, great point there, J-Rock. Jason Strobridge from North Carolina. He's another guy. He's probably going to be a 3rd round guy. He's like a late day 3 guy. But in that same conversation, I was going to put him more of an edge guy than a tackle guy. But sure, since we're on Strobridge, cool. He'll probably be like an edge guy. Dante Fowler, sure. Guys like D Ford, sure. All those guys, man. It takes a while to whoop a grown man. Just think about that. You got to whoop a grown man. You got to learn. You got to be 19, 20 years old coming to the league and learn how to whoop a grown man. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, fam. Let me take a sip of water. I drink water loud. My bad. Anyway, let's talk about edge players. Defensive ends. Now, with our defense, we don't really know what we're going to do with defensive end. We could still run standard guys. We can still stand people up, but we're talking about free agency. 3 names that Jerry and Steven are prioritizing is Prescott, Cooper, and Quinn. That says a lot what you think about those guys. So assuming that we're bringing back Robert Quinn, that'll kind of give us an idea of the kind of player that we may need there. I do think if we make any kind of changes on defense, we'll still run a 4-3. We're not going to change to a 3-4 like that. Like this year, there's no reason to make a big drastic change like that. If anything, we may stand up the weak side in and make them like a stand up rusher or something like that, or they'll just run a regular 4-3 because that's what the personnel calls for. But let's talk about edge players. So if we were to draft an edge guy in day one, I'll be like, Hey, y'all know it's my responses, right? Because with D tackles, I was like, yay! But with edge guys, I'm like, at 17, right? So if we're taking an edge guy at 17, it'll be a guy like Kayvon Chason, right? Who's super talented, who has quickness and ball get off an explosion and burst like that, but he just may need a little bit of polish to clean that technique up. AJ Epinesa, who's the opposite, who's not really bursty guy, and he didn't have a great combine. Somebody hit me like, yo, Voch, he didn't look that great in the combine. What you think about Epinesa? Well, his tape didn't scream, I'm running fast at the combine. His tape was, I'm pushing people around. I'm not able to be blocked. And when I line up in B gap, I terrorize children. And I win with technique, and I still got double-digit sacks last year. You know what I mean? So that's what Epinesa says to me. So I like Epinesa in terms of drafting him at 17. Now, is he a top-tier talent? No, and neither is Chason, really. You know, they're not like Chase Young or nothing like that. But if you get him on, if you get him on the team, you'll be like, okay, cool, I get it. But I'll be like, what about day 2? What about guys from day 2? I was like, yeah, but it depends on the fit though. And that's exactly what I said. Voch, how do you feel about day 2 edge players? I was like, but it depends on the fit. What I mean by that, if we're going to go with hand-down defensive linemen, then guys like Curtis Weaver from Boise State coming to the picture. He kind of fat to me, and he just kind of whoop up on regular kids. So, but he got production whooping up on regular kids. I just don't know how to feel about that. Guys like Yetur Gross Matos, he's probably not gonna fall to 51, but I think he might be a day 2 guy. I don't know if anybody's gonna reach for him necessarily, but he's another guy. Alton Robinson from Syracuse is 3rd round maybe. Jason Strobridge 3rd round maybe. The point I'm trying to get across to you is that, you know, if you want the edge guys, you may have to get an edge guy early. If you want to super develop an edge guy, you may have to wait a little late. Tristan Hill from Miami, he might be a 4th round guy, whatever. But then we was talking about fit, right? Earlier we was talking about hand down guys. Those last few guys I named, those guys are hand down guys. What about the stand up linebacker types, right? That's what I said. It depends on the fit. If we do end up standing up our backside rush guy, our weak side rush guy, then Zach Bond from Wisconsin comes into play. Then guys like Bradley and Nye from Utah come into play. They both had fantastic Senior Bowls. Julian Okwara from Notre Dame. You know what I mean? So I feel really good about those guys. You know what I mean? So if it's like a day 2 hand in the dirt guy, I'm like, yeah. But if we looking for a day 2 stand-up linebacker edge rusher guy, I'm really excited about that because there's a lot of stand-up edge. Josh Uche is another guy. I'm a really big fan of the outside day 2 stand-up rushy guys in the class this year, opposed to the bigger hand in the dirt. Like I don't like Kenny Willekes is cool, but I ain't the biggest fan of him. That's Josh Uche from Michigan and Kenny Willekes from Michigan State. There you go, from Michigan State. So That's just that though. But yeah, that's D tackle and that's edge. I'll probably do. Let's do safety. Then I'm gonna go to the phones and I'm gonna get back to you. Curtis Weaver, fat. Yeah, Senior Bowl is better than the combine. I agree. Let's do safeties. Let's do free and strong safeties real quick. So free safety, right? If I was to draft a free safety in the first round, I'd be like, yeah. I'd be excited as hell to get Grant Delpit as a first round free safety. But if I had to wait till the second round to get a free safety, I'm like, because I'm not trying to get when it comes to the safety position as a whole, if I feel like if I can't upgrade there, I don't want to do it. If I can't upgrade there, I don't want to do it. Ashton Davis would be another guy that I consider free safety. Ashton Davis is cool, but I just think we have guys that are as good as Ashton Davis. If I was to get a free safety, I would want a top tier free safety, and Grant Delpit would be the guy that I would want to get. I know there's some people drafting or they're mocking Grant Delpit in the 20s or so, the 30s. I'm not buying that. It's rare that you find really good free safeties. And if you can get your hands on a really good free safety with range, you go and get a really good free safety with the range. You know what I'm saying? And that brings us to strong safety, right? I have a totally different view on strong safety because if we draft a strong safety in the first round, I'd be like, nah. But then if we get a strong safety in day 2, then I'd be like, nah. And let me explain. These players are talented. I just don't value strong safety very much. And we got 3 strong safeties that I think can play already. You can hate Jeff Heath all you want. I think he can play already. Donovan Wilson, I think, can play. Xavier Woods, I think, can play. And those guys are kind of strong safeties that can play free safety. But they're better at strong safety. So if I can't draft a strong safety that can take their spot immediately, I ain't necessarily trying to take one. And I ain't trying to spend a first-round pick on strong safety because I ain't dying to have one. I ain't dying to have one like that. I ain't even trying to spend a first-round pick on Jamal Adams from the Jets. You know, if you're a box safety, then you're really another linebacker, honestly. And I ain't trying to spend all my draft resources on an extra linebacker unless you're a special strong safety. Like if you Derwin James and you're a special strong safety and you can play free and you can cover tight ends and you are like 6'1" and you do have great length and you do run a fast ass 40, then that's different. We could talk about strong safety then. But if you're a cool little strong safety, then I ain't trying to take you because I got a bunch of cool little strong safeties. That's just my thoughts. You're tripping, man. Jamal is worth a first round. Sure, but not to us. Not to Dallas. I mean, if you're the Jets and you love Jamal Adams, I mean, sure. I mean, keep Jamal Adams. But Jamal Adams is a box safety. He's a box safety. And to the grand scheme of things, box safeties ain't that valuable. You'd rather have a gangster-ass pass rusher than a box safety. You'd rather have a gangster-ass 3-tech than a box safety. You want your linebackers to be fixed before a box safety. You want a rangy-ass free safety before a box safety. You want shut-down corners before box safeties. Box safeties tackle. That's what they do. They tackle. And if you got problems covering and you a box safety, good luck to you. You kind of fall into the other category with the other box safeties. I do think Jamal Adams is better than the average box safety. But I got other shit on my team I got to address. Indubitably. Indubitably. That's my only point about that. That's my only thing. It's plenty of them. I would rather spend my resources on things where I know it's looking bad. Like it's looking bad at tackle. Cowboys at D tackle, it's looking bad there. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys at like nickel corner or something, it's looking rough there. Corner in general, it's looking kind of rough. Free safety is looking rough. I ain't losing my sleep over a box guy. Let me get into the phones real quick, and then I'm going to continue my list later. Let me make sure my sound is good. John Q, what's up?
Hey, man, what's good?
John, do something. Do something. I'm not going to bury my son. My son is going to bury me. He's a good.
Hey, you got to flex on him real quick.
Go ahead. He's a good man.
Flex on him real quick.
Take my heart, man. My heart's healthy. I'm his dad. We got the same blood type. I'm not gonna take my heart. Yeah, fine. Take his heart. Give him the gun. Let him kill himself. Give him his heart. Go. Let him do it. You might want to get some towels. It's gonna get bloody up in here. My bad, John K. I love that movie. What's up, my guy?
No, don't apologize for that, man. You can do that all day.
My bad, fella. What you got for the show?
Hey, man. So last night I was listening to you. You had some good points, and you were talking about Cowboys need to stop drafting the same player. And you were talking really more about defensive linemen. You were talking about Blacklock and the similarity to poor Tristan Hill, who hadn't really got a shot yet. But I understand the concept. Mm-hmm. I can't help myself because I'm excited. I'm a fan.
Sure.
One of my pet catches here is just who you were talking about is Delpit.
Sure.
And maybe it's because we almost had Earl Thomas, maybe because we did team with Jamal Adams. But still, I was like, you know what? We were almost last in the league in turnovers last year. Fumbles, picks. We just don't cause it. Now, is that the coach? But really what I was getting at is, hey, let's draft a ball hawk.
Sure.
And I hear people all the time like, you know what? Don't draft Delpit. McKinney's better. He can't tackle. He can't do this. I'm like, wait a second. Did I lose sleep here? Did McKinney just run a 4.6? Did we all forget about the national championship game and the semifinal game where Delpit was 100% on all of his tackles? Did we forget that Delpit's 6'3" and plays free safety, not strong safety, which we have an abundance of?
Oh, you pod now. Oh, you pod.
So if you're and people are talking about, why don't we trade back and then maybe Delpit will be there. I'm like, I like the way you're thinking. In an ideal world, maybe trade back to 25 and get a second-round pick too. Yeah, sure, and if he's there, but I highly doubt he's going to be there. So, I don't know. I just kind of hear all this noise and static about, we need a safety. We need a safety. We need to get a Duggar. We need to get, let's get Antoine Winfield Jr.
Sure.
Let's get all these guys in the second round. But just like you said last night too, I mean, I'm going to repeat what you said. Sure. There's a big difference between a Jerry Jeudy and a Van Jefferson.
Sure.
You can get a defensive lineman in the third round, but he's not going to be Raekwon Davis. I'm sorry.
Kinlaw.
Raekwon from South Carolina, my bad.
Yeah.
But so I was just kind of hearing your thoughts on that, really, and just wanted to pick your brain.
Man, you're absolutely right. I think a lot of people look at the Delpit missed tackle thing and they kind of put that in the assessment to bring them down because a lot of people don't like to change their stances. People really get stuck in their ways sometimes. But when we look at Malik Hooker, we didn't look at him as a tackler. We look at, that range is pretty ridiculous. And it'll be nice to have range at free safety because it's rare to find range at free safety. When the Cowboys talked about going to go sign Earl Thomas, it wasn't because he's a tackler, because Earl is old now. Earl missed tackles. Somebody smoked the hell out of Earl Thomas. Was it like Derrick Henry this year? Smoked the hell out of Earl Thomas tackling. But we were more concerned about making plays. We were more concerned about getting the hands on the football. And Grant Delpit, he had like 20 batted passes in the last 2 years, something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I can't help but watch his tape even for people are like, his 18 tape was really good. His 19 tape sucked. And I'm like,
his 19 tape is fantastic.
He started for LSU. This isn't the Big 10 or Big 12 or anything like that. This is the SEC. He played really good. And guess who he was playing against every single day in practice?
Sure.
Number one pick.
Either way, they were still grading on tackling because 2019 Grant Delpit had a fantastic year in terms of coverage. And so I'm seeing in the chat box too, somebody mentioned Winfield. I think this is a good time to bring this up because I've said this on my old draft show, but I know my Cowboy fans, they may not necessarily watch all the draft shows I do. But if you watch Antoine Winfield's interceptions, they throwing right at him. They're picking on Antoine Winfield. And he'll be in the right place at the right time. Or he'll catch a deflection. Or, you know what I mean? It'll be in his vicinity. What makes Grant Delpit special is that Delpit could be on the right hash mark and he can run his ass to the left numbers, the left sideline. And he can get a pass deflection or he can get an interception from there. Go watch LSU versus Florida, the 2019 game. That's what I mean by... That's what I mean by range guy.
He took off on the other hash and got there still.
Facts. I like Xavier Woods, but Xavier Woods catch and drop interceptions that come right to him. Grant go gets them.
Yeah.
I think that's different, and we got to grade that accordingly. Go ahead.
It drives me nuts when people are like, "Oh, we need to get McKinney. He's the more rounded player." I'm like, we got 4. We got 14 of those guys on our team. We got the same guy. Like, why don't we get a guy that that can make a difference? Where if we actually get pressure on the quarterback, and he wants to throw up a prayer, we're coming down with it,
Sure.
And it just get someone who's special. Get someone who, just like you said again last night, get someone who we don't get all the time. Let's get a ball hawking safety. Let's get started on this.
Sure.
So that's my cat. Again, I had other thoughts and inquiries about other people, but I think that's, if he's there at 17, or if we can do something about that, I think we need to snatch him up, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Big facts, man. Totally agree. Appreciate it, John Q.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to be saying John Q quotes all day. You give me my son, you'll get your sniper.
Flex on him for me.
Appreciate it. That boy say, Jake, give me my. Oh, shit, that's trend. That's trend. Never mind, John.
You need to get some water first, and then you can do it right.
Yeah, my bad. Get off the phone. Appreciate it, John. Jake. I always go back to Jake. Swagger D get out of timeout and start tearing stuff up again. Like, immediately he started tearing stuff right back up again. All right, cool. Let's get into Lamb isn't falling to 17. Oh boy. We gotta talk about that one. Brother Joe, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Speaking of snipers.
By the way, I was definitely thinking about that pick at 17.
Yeah,
definitely could be there. It would work. I do think the tackling thing is way overblown.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I threw a little bit of shade at Winfield of why the interceptions came in the chat box.
Oh God, let me go see what you said, because you. And look, man, I just want to say this, bro. Like, Winfield is fantastic.
Yeah.
I just don't want redundancies on my team. The Penn State interception from Winfield came. That's true, though. That is true. He was throwing it right at him. But listen, though, but just another point on Winfield. I know Winfield has a lot of fans. I get it. I'm a fan too.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the one thing that we've been getting beat on last year? Our DBs have been getting beat on is ball placement, right?
Tight ends.
Tight ends and ball placement. Sure. Like, we'll be in good position, but it's only an inch. It only takes an inch to complete a pass or not. And we always talk about Cheeto. We talk about, Jordan Lewis, even Xavier Woods. They'll be in good position. But, dog, Winfield like 5'8", man. And I love Winfield, bro. But if you're a Cowboy fan, man, y'all got to acknowledge how little bitty Winfield is. You know what I mean? When Cheeto
why couldn't you find why couldn't you find Kyler Murray's platform shoes?
Right. He needs some of Kyler Murray's shoes. Like Cheeto was like, what, 6 foot and pretty long? Jay Lou was like 5'10" and 5'11" or something like that, pretty long. They'll still miss it by a little bit. Winfield like 5'8" in real life. Hey, man.
Yeah, that actually brings me to a different prospect what I have for 17.
Sure.
Possibly C.J. Henderson.
Sure. I don't mind Henderson. Henderson is another guy that I wouldn't be high-fiving everybody. I wouldn't be, doing a choreographed hump dance if we got him. But I get it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't hate the pick, but some of these picks would make me do a choreographed hump dance in the middle of the floor. And C.J. Henderson just ain't one of them, but,
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But if need be, I guess I could live my life in, the second round. There's some decent corners actually still there.
Sure. You ever seen the movie John Q?
No.
Joe, man, what are you doing? Buddy, what are you doing? Joe, I need you to watch John Q.
Yeah.
I need you to watch John Q and then John Q with Denzel Washington next week. And the chick from Set It Off that looked like Cicely Tyson. Look, next time we have a live stream, probably next week or something like that, we need to have a conversation about John Q. Joe, I need you to. Fantastic movie. Come on, son. But I appreciate you though, man. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Jake, I need my money. All right, so let's get back into this list. I appreciate my last two callers, John Q and Joe Sandberg. If you want to call into the show, the number's on the screen. It's in the description. You can't miss it. It's 515-606-5187, access code 309104. Y'all remember at the end when Denzel sitting in the back of the car and the son on the outside, and he flex at him. Denzel flex back. From the window. Damn. All right, man. So where we leave off, let's talk about wide receivers since that's in the cards, since the chat box kind of touching on that. John Q mentioned earlier what I was saying on my last draft show. I don't know how many of y'all were tuning into that, but somebody was like, CeeDee Lamb ain't going to fall to 17. Well, sir, let me explain some things to you. If you think about what the first 16 picks might be, somebody's gonna fall. And I know pessimistic Cowboys thing is a fun thing to be. Because you just don't want to hype your own. I don't want to get excited about CeeDee Lamb and we're not gonna get him. But what I don't want you to say is that we can't get CeeDee Lamb, because that's false. We can absolutely get CeeDee Lamb. Because what we want to happen, we want 4 and a possible quarterbacks to go top 16. And that's possible. That is real life possible. Meaning Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love from Utah State, and also there's another guy with a big ass cannon that's probably going to go in the teens somewhere, Jacob Eason from Washington. We want him to get into that top situation or whatever, right? Let's just say 5. Another thing that's going to happen, everybody take out your note. Hey, look, take your notes. Write this down. This will be on the test. 5 offensive linemen might go top 16 as well. Be ready. Mekhi Becton from Louisville, Jedrick Wills, Alabama, Tristan Wirfs, Iowa, Michael Thomas, Georgia. And I need everybody to cross their fingers for Josh Jones, Houston, to kind of sneak up in there. There's another first round guy, Austin Jackson. I'm not a big fan of him, but Austin Jackson from USC. I don't think he goes top 16. I think he'll be a first round, but I think somebody ignorant enough to take him top 16. I'm not going to count 6 offensive linemen, but 5 offensive linemen could go in the top 16, because when they're gone, they gone. They gone. Believe that. Then you got your defenders, right? Chase got to go up there. Let's say Brown and Kinlaw, because I don't think we're going to get Kinlaw. Kinlaw could fall, but Brown and Kinlaw, it depends on what's going on with his knees, okay? Brown and Kinlaw. Simmons, Okuda. That's like what? I can't count. That's like what, 14 people? That's like 14 people, fam. That's like 14 people. So John Schumann right here, right? Because he just want to have this conversation. I'm here for you. Voch, man, are you telling me Denver doesn't go CeeDee Lamb if he's there at 15? I think my man Young AK just answered your question right there, fam. Garrett Bowles ain't looking good out there, bro. I know everybody was like looking for Denver to go cornerback play or whatever. Denver might go offensive line because these guys are going to run out. Also, another point, you take a look at CeeDee Lamb. They kind of got a guy in Cortland Sutton already. I think CeeDee's a little better of a prospect than Cortland Sutton was, but they got that kind of guy already. They may want a guy that's going to stretch the field to complement Cortland Sutton. I don't think they would go with a guy like CeeDee Lamb. If they could go Henry Ruggs. And hell, if Henry Ruggs fall to 17, we'll take that. If Jerry Jeudy fall to 17, we'll take that. I'm just saying, I don't want you to say what ain't going to happen. Please just don't say what ain't going to happen. Because we don't effing know what ain't going to happen. Anything can happen. We just need to be aware of what can happen. CeeDee Lamb can 100% fall to 17. Will it happen? I don't know, but it can. I just want to bring y'all a different perspective on wide receivers too. A lot of people are taking the option of, Voch, I wouldn't want to take a first round receiver because there are late receivers that we can get that'll be good. I agree, but watch this. I think that only applies after you get to day 2. Here's my example. Excuse me, pardon me. Here's my example. If you're in the second round, and I did this on my show the other day, so pardon me if y'all heard this twice. If you're in the second round and Brandon Ayuk is on the board, you can pass up on Brandon Ayuk and take, that's Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State, and take a guy like Devin Duvernay from Texas, because they're similar kind of guys. If you pass up on a KJ Hamler on day 2, you can wait a little bit and get a guy like KJ Hill. They'll be roughly similar. If you miss out on T. Higgins, you'll have a shot at Denzel Mims. If you miss out on give me some big guys. If you miss out on Michael Pittman from USC, you can find a guy like Colin Johnson from Texas. There are plenty guys in the group similarities that you can find. But I think these first 3 guys are different. These first 3 gangsters are different. You ain't going to find another guy like CeeDee Lamb in this class. You ain't going to find another guy like Jerry Jeudy in this class. You ain't going to find another guy like Henry Ruggs in this class. Your last hope of having a Henry Ruggs type guy was Jalen Reagor. He ran a 4.4. That was your last hope. So now you ain't got a guy like Jalen Reagor no more. I mean, you ain't got a guy like Henry Ruggs no more. Or Lamb or Jeudy. So I think if you're Cowboys at 17, you have an opportunity to get a top tier. I don't want to say generation talent at wide receiver, but y'all know top tier receivers are like rare. Just say wide receiver 1. We have a rare opportunity to get a wide receiver 1. A very rare opportunity to get one. Don't pass up on Jerry Jeudy trying to be cute and saying, I'm going to get Van Jefferson later. I like Van Jefferson. His ass ain't Jerry Jeudy. You see what I'm saying? Just keep that in your brain when we talking about trading back. I got a super chat from J Rock S. He said Lamar Jackson fell to 32. I'm just saying. Big facts. Big facts. Hey, man, y'all go watch my Lamar Jackson assessment. I called it the whole time. Y'all go check it out. So in terms of my vibes at receiver, wide receiver for day 1, yay! I'm going yay in all capital letters. Capital Y, capital A, capital Y, exclamation, exclamation. Indubitably. That's my vibes on day 1 receivers. Those big 3, that top 3 guys, Jeudy, Ruggs, Lamb. If any of those guys fall to 17, I think we take them, man. I just hope that we take care of business on defense and free agency or whatever. Jerry Jones and Steve and them was like, hey, man, we need to bring back, Cooper, Dak, and Robert Quinn. They ain't saying nothing about Randall Cobb. Get one of these guys and move on with your life. Oh, goodness. Get one of these guys and move on with your life. Nah, Conrad Tokyo. Why you tuning in to the Cowboys chat, but you don't tune in to the draft chat? You a Cowboy fan, Conrad Tokyo. Just say you a Cowboy guy. Just say you like how we do things over here. What are you doing? But in terms of day 2 receivers, I'm going yay as well. It's just that it's not yay in all caps. It's still YAY. It's just that first round is YAY in all caps. it's YAY in all caps. It's just in this one, it's just regular YAY with no exclamation. You'll still find good receivers on day 2, rounds 2 and 3. They just won't be super amazing. And hell, they'll probably be good too. Yeah, they'll probably be good too. Yeah, it just may not be as good as them. I want us to have an understanding about receiver. My big theory about him is that you don't always have a chance to get him. If you think about receiver in the last few drafts, good luck finding them. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get some really good guys that can come in and play, but who's the last like Odell Beckham, Julio Jones kind of guy? Right? I think we have an opportunity to get an Odell Beckham, Julio Jones kind of guy, and I think we can get him at 17 because there's so much offensive tackle quarterback presence in this class. Keep that in mind. Let me scratch that out. We talked about wide receivers. We ain't got to talk about offensive line, but I wouldn't take a guard in the first round this year. I think we have an opportunity to get an Odell Beckham, Julio Jones kind of guy, right? I think we have an opportunity to get an Odell Beckham, Julio Jones kind of guy, and I think we can get him at 17 because there's so much offensive tackle quarterback presence in this class. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We ain't got to talk about offensive line, but there's not. I wouldn't take a guard in the first round this year. I wouldn't want to take a guard on day 2, but you can live with it if they end up doing it. You'll probably understand it. It'll probably be like some other move. Cool. It'll probably be some other move that we could do. Offensive tackle at 17 in the first round? No, because I think all the top tier tackles are going to be gone by the time we get on the board, and I don't want any of the riffraff. I think that all the best offensive tackles, they go early. If you get an offensive tackle in the 4th round, you just fooling yourself. Or the 2nd, 3rd round, you fooling yourself. So no. Compton Nutt says Ron Leary. No. I don't want Ron Leary because his own team don't want him. Like my stance on free agency, it's 3 kind of guys, right? There are guys that teams want to keep, but they can't afford them. There are guys like, that was like Khalil Mack or something like that. You know what I mean? I guess they couldn't afford to pay Khalil Mack what he wanted, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But they just let him go. But he's a fantastic player. Then there are guys that are like bargain players that you can get. Like, remember we let go of Jack Crawford and like Atlanta got him or whatever. They ain't had big faith in him. They just kind of got him. You know what I mean? Kerry Hyder was a guy like that for us. Just a good bargain guy, right? But then there's this middle ground of guys that they team just didn't want. It ain't had nothing to do with money. It ain't had nothing to do, you know what I mean? They just got let go. Their contract was just, they still had time on their contract. They just ran out of guaranteed money. They just cut them, let them go. I don't want guys that the other teams don't want. I don't want them. I don't. I want the guy. Okay, think about like Chris Jones from Kansas City. Kansas City paying a lot of people right now. If Chris Jones hit free agency, I pay big money for Chris Jones. He's a top tier player. Somebody want him. He justified for the money. In my mind, we just drafted him, and it's just time for us to pay for him. In my mind, that's how I would work it. I don't want Snacks Harrison that his own team didn't want. They didn't want him for a reason. I don't want Ron Leary that his own team didn't want. They didn't want him for a reason. They didn't want Vic Beasley for a reason. Indubitably. The goods fired too. Indubitably. They ain't want him. So, I don't want them neither. Look, you either give me some top tier talent that we got to pay money for. You know what I'm saying? Or give me a guy I can get for a bargain. I don't want to pay $5 million for Snacks Harrison, somebody that don't nobody else want. You don't want to get slower. Indubitably. Facts. I ain't screaming at y'all. I'm just saying. Cornerback. Me and Joe Sandberg was just on the phone talking about this, right? If we were to take a cornerback at 17, I'd feel so, but I'll live because I get it, right? And if we were to get a cornerback, I would think C.J. Henderson from Florida would be that guy, considering that we drafted at 17. I wouldn't be high-fiving everybody doing a choreographed hump dance or whatever, but I would understand us getting C.J. Henderson at 17. It may be a greater good pick. But in terms of cornerbacks in the second round, yay! I think your value gets a little better. When you look at guys like, Cam Dantzler from Mississippi State, Noah Igbenogany from Auburn. You know what I mean? Get you a guy like that. Christian Fulton, if he falls to the second. I think Christian Fulton will probably be a second round guy. Not sure if he falls to 51. But if you can get Christian Fulton at 51, high five. If you can get Christian Fulton at 51, it's going to be somebody in my chat box saying it somewhere. Voch, Christian Fulton would never make it to 51. Hey, what's my man from last year? Greedy Williams. Flat out in the second round. What's my other man's from Washington last year? Top corner. Bryce. I don't know. Like, I just learned a new draft class. I just forget the last one. What's my man's name? Got drafted to Arizona. They drafted him at 33, the cornerback from Washington. Forgot his name. But we never thought he would have made it to the Byron Murphy. Thank you. Joe be looking out, man. But yes, Byron Murphy. Nobody thought Byron Murphy would have fallen. Greedy fell because he was injury prone. Greedy was the best man covering the draft. You want to talk all that? You want to talk all that injury prone if you want to, but if you draft Greedy Williams in the second, you doing choreographed hump dance in the middle of your living room. It's just I just don't like when people say what ain't gonna happen. let's just be aware of what ain't gonna happen, man. I just don't want y'all to say that. I would take AJ Terrell at 17 because he has more upside. Man, look, if we draft AJ Terrell at 17, then we never should have fired Jason Garrett. Mike McCarthy got to go before he even get a chance. If we draft AJ Terrell at 17, I don't want to hear none of that mess. Anyway, but yeah, that's my value picks, guys. That's my value talk. So, what y'all got? Is anybody on the phone right now? Let's see. Is anybody on the phone? Nobody's on the phone. All right, cool. So, chat box. Let me see. I'm going to answer questions for the next. We in good time too. We in good time. Yes. So I'm gonna answer y'all questions for the next, I'd say 15 to 20 or so. And after that, we'll wrap this thing up. And I'm gonna get back to doing laundry and doing this film video because I gotta go to Natchez, Mississippi to be with my people. Yeah, I turned 28 yesterday, so go home and chill with my folk, You know what I'm saying? Be with moms and all them. Be with grandmas and all them. You know what I'm saying? Be with little brother and them. You know what I'm saying? All them. You know what I mean? So, any D lineman worthy of number 17? Yes. Voch, where would you draft Marlon Davidson? Late first. Voch, you need to check out Jeremy Chin. I have. Let me ask y'all a question. Just anybody that can answer this. Like, how do y'all dictate who y'all think that I may or may not have watched? How do y'all kind of dictate that? This is just me being curious, right? And to be fair, I'm not being like assholey because there are some guys I haven't watched. Like I hate watching tight ends and I haven't gotten there yet. And there's a handful of not prospects, position groups, pardon me, that I can kind of clean up a little bit. But just, I'm interested when people be like, yo, Voch, you need to check out such and such. I have. I haven't done a video on everybody because everybody won't get views and it's only March, but I've watched a few people. I asked you in the chat the other day, did I say I haven't watched them? I watched a little bit from Southern Illinois, I believe. Yeah. He had a big combine, man, but you know how that go. You know how combine go. I just didn't see it in the film, man. And a lot of people do them highlights, bro. Everybody highlight tape will look good, man. Everybody highlight tape will look good, bro. But I'm just not there, bro. I'm just not there. Shouts out to his combine though and his percentiles. Yeah, you did yesterday. I did. My bad, man. My bad. I must have read your question wrong. I didn't know you asked me about Chin yesterday. I thought you asked me about Chun or something. Or something must have been a Chun or something like that. But yeah, I got you. And the only reason I watch because I see people do combine things because I know how questions are gonna go. Right? When people blow combine up, that's when I kind of like familiarize myself with a lot of people because I know where questions gonna come from. I just got a feel for like news when it's coming. For example, I got the beep on my phone. Ron Leary got released by the Broncos. First thing I did was run to Twitter and be like, no, I do not want Ron Leary on my team because I know people's gonna ask me, yo, Voch, should we go pick up Ron Leary for cheap? I know people's gonna ask me that. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, my bad, bro, my bad. But yeah, from Midwestern Illinois, from Midwestern Illinois Community College, sure. Salute to you. How do you feel about the Cowboys' interest in Chris Harris? I'm not a fan, bro. I ain't trying to spend big bread on nickel corner, and I didn't think that the Cowboys would spend big bread on nickel corner. That kind of surprised me, but now, what do you think about Gay out of Mississippi State? Is there a player named Gay from Mississippi State? Or you mean guy from Mississippi State? Paul Rayborn, clear it up for me. Clear it up for me. I know there's a player, his last name was Gay, but I think he was like gun under the sea guy. But I don't remember if he played at Mississippi State or not. Long story short, I haven't watched him, but I have heard of a guy named Gay that's supposed to be talented that happened to be gun under the sea guy. I just didn't think that he was Mississippi State. Or did you mean to say guy out of Mississippi State? You'll be talking about Dantzler, I'm guessing, but let me know what you mean. Let me know what you mean. I just expect you to watch most of the guys. No, JB, I do work for everybody. You know, it's interesting, JB. This is what I've learned. Like, I was draft guy first, and I transitioned into Cowboy guy. But I still do draft guy. So what I'll do is I'll do like an Isaiah Simmons film session, or I'll just do like a offensive line, like Jedrick Wills or somebody. And some Cowboy fan will go in and be like, Voch, Cowboys don't need offensive tackle. Why are you dropping this video? Like, it's for everybody. It's not just for Cowboys. It's for everybody. The Good say you hate DBs. Facts. I can't stand watching film on DBs. They're my least favorite position to evaluate. DBs, safeties in particular, and then corners like right after that. I would say safeties are worse than corners, but they both 1 and 2. Voch, how about adding Ebron with Jarwin? Kinlaw best choice safety. I don't know. I kind of want Jarwin to live, man. I kind of want Jarwin to kind of do his thing, bro. Ebron, how much better does Ebron make you? How much better does he make you? You know? He was bad with Stafford, but he was good with Andrew Luck, and then he was right back how he was when Luck left. You know? I just ain't got a good gauge on Ebron like that. I ain't got a good gauge on him just yet. I don't know. But Thomas Lewis said it's his birthday tomorrow. Salute to you, Thomas Lewis. Happy birthday tomorrow at midnight. Would you rather go Delpit or D-line at 17? I would rather D-line at 17 because I do consider D-line most important. But, of course, I'll have a totally different answer after free agency. So we'll have all these conversations we're having again in March. Trust me. Jordan got the nickel on lock anyway. Matabuike is a product of the combine, sure. Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts? I think Jalen Hurts is pretty terrible, but, Justin Herbert. What cornerbacks do you think should move to safety? They all terrible, so I hate them all. If you want me to say Cheeto, if you want me to say move Cheeto to safety, I mean, I'll say that, but Cheeto's fine in corner. Willie Gay? Let me write down Willie Gay. I heard he was a really good player, but he was gun under the seat guy, so he might fall. So I'm gonna put that in my notes. Y'all wanna know the next position I hate more than DBs and tight ends? Linebackers. Off the ball linebackers. I can't stand them. I can't stand an off the ball linebacker. I know it when I see it, but boy, I can't stand an off the ball linebacker. I'll check him out though. Boy, Natani Muti. I can't stand that kid. I don't even want nobody to think about drafting his ass. Philosophy question for you. Do you build defense from back to front or front to back? That's a great question. I think you just kind of got to go with the best player available. But to not bail out of your question like that, like D-line, bro. I always go D-line first because I've seen teams with great D-lines and whack-ass cornerbacks win ball games. And regardless of what happens, cornerbacks can't cover forever. Cover sacks do happen, but I'm just D-line guy, man. I'm building D-line first if I can do it. There was a while like teams like the Rams, teams like Washington does it. They're doing it now. 49ers were doing it before this. It just seemed like every year they was just drafting D-line, just kept drafting D-line like back to back to back. Like, why the hell you keep drafting D-line? But it works out. It works out, man. I feel like I feel like Jacksonville keep drafting D linemen too, but it's part of the motion. Part of the motion. I think they're most important, and I think they're harder to find. Would you sign back Joe Looney? Nah. I think that's what McGovern is going to do. Joe Looney is currently your guard center guy. I think Connor McGovern is going to be your guard center guy. If they sign back Joe Looney, I don't hate it, but he's guard center guy. Ebron is overrated. Whew. I'm too rare amongst all this pink hair. What did Gay do besides cheat on the test? I keep hearing character, and I ain't cheated, but I'm not gonna refuse to draft to do it over a test. Hey man, I like cheaters. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. If you false started and the referee didn't call it, the referee ain't call it. If you caught a pass and you stepped out of bounds and the referee didn't call you out of bounds, we move on to the next play. You ain't step out of bounds. That was just one commercial. It was this one commercial I saw, man. These kids was playing basketball, and the dude was passing the ball to him, and he touched the pass and it went out of bounds, and the referee called out on the other team, and the kid made me sick. I threw up my mouth. He went, "Yo, coach, I touched that ball. That's out on me. I got to do this." And he walked up to the referee and said, "Yo, ref, I touched that ball. Let's stay ball." Boy, one of his teammates should have smacked the shit out of him, boy. Well, if you don't sit your honest ass down, well, so who you supposed to be? Who you supposed to be? I like somebody that'll, you know what I'm saying? You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, my guy. So, I don't know. I just heard he had character issues. I look him up. Voch, how you feel about Chris Harris? You just got here, huh? You just got here. Yeah, hit the rewind, man. Bring it back, play it again. Sounds personal. You must be talking about like DBs. No, it ain't personal. It's just they're my least favorite position to break down. And it's not like my relationship with because some people don't like offensive line because they don't understand it. Like I'll teach them offensive line and they'll love it. Like I get DB, and that's partially why I hate it, because I get it. Like, man, I took all the time to understand you and you still ain't great. Like I still hate watching y'all. Ugh. But hey, man, I'm sure there's some DB coach out there that love DBs head offensive line. It's not personal. It's just what it is. It just is what it is. I'll tell you. So what is this? HMNI Cadoza? Hemni Cadoza? I remember seeing your name somewhere. You actually commented on the Netani Mutai video. So let me ask you this, brother. Let me just have a conversation with me. I would love if you called into the show. Cadoza, can you call into the show? HMNI Cadoza. If you call in, like I promise, I just want to see. I just want to know what you see in Netani Muti. Netani Muti. It ain't personal because I don't know him. I ain't never met him before. I just think he got a lot of hype around him. And regardless of the work that I've done, regardless of the study that I've done, it seems like that's not enough. That somebody would just kind of take PFF's word for it or whatever. And I more so have a plight with PFF. I kind of hate them a little bit. I don't hate on them, but I just kind of hate them a little bit. But yeah, man, like, please, if you can call into the show, or if you could just type a long passage into the chat box of how you're a fan of, like what you really like about him, then that'll be great for me. I just need to know. Yes, set it off, Chris. My birthday was yesterday, man. Turned 28. I turned 28. Salute, fam. I'm an old man now. Honest ass boy. Drop 5 in the super chat. I know you're busy, but I wanted to get your money back. But I wanted to get your but let me see what you said, Jay Down. Let me go back to. I must have missed it. I don't know what I was doing, but let me see. Let me go find Jake Downey. Okay, cool. My bad. We dropped 5 in the super chat for Jake Downey. 2 parts. If we get Delpit, pardon me, my bad. If we get Delpit, is his talent I can't read today. My fault. If we get Delpit, is his talent enough that it covers up the deficiencies in the cornerback department? And your thoughts on Lakey Fotu? Here's your money back. I don't get it, Jake Downey. What you give me money back for? I think Delp is really good, man. I think Delp is really good, and I think sure he you know, when you get an opportunity to draft a safety like this, I think you should absolutely go there. Like a free safety with true range is rare that you get hands on them, and that'll absolutely help your cornerback play. You know, if you tired of people getting beat over the top, then put a safety over the top that can actually get there, and it'll help you out. I would say that the Bears defense kind of went over the edge when Jackson from Alabama, Eddie Jackson, when he showed up and he was a top tier free safety for them. You can pass rush all you can pass rush all you want, but if you can take the top off of defense and force coverage, like you can force the pressure down on coverage, and you can and you can play freely because your back is clear, you can pass rush all day and smoke a lot of ass. So yeah, man, I'm with that. And Lakey Fotu, he'll probably be a nose for some 3-4 team. I'm not really trying to get that kind of guy on my team. I'm not a big fan of guys that can't move very well. I think the new National Football League is built to take guys like him out of the game. People always talk about how Cowboys how we miss out in the run game. It's because a lot of these teams will outside zone us. And if you get outside zoned and you're a one tech that can't move, you ain't catching these running backs going to the outside. You ain't catching no receive on a jet sweep. You ain't catching nobody coming off a jailbreak screen. If you're a one tech, you're basically missing out. And if you're a team that's game planning around a one tech, then fam, I'm just not gonna run that gap. This, we run zone offenses now, man. I ain't never got to go your gap. But that's my thoughts on slow one techs. But that's just been my thing. But Gay allegedly got into a fight with his quarterback. Oh, I like mess. Oh, buddy, I like mess. Let me go see. Why you not big on one tech for the Cowboys? Perfect. Just explain it. Don't all offensive linemen or former offensive linemen hate PFF rankings? If that's the case, I understand. Sure. Thoughts on A.J. Dillon? He's a big old boy. I got you. It's just a Letter Kenny reference. Okay. Outside zones. I think they're all right. Cool. I got 2 calls. Let me see what's going on real quick. Let me see. 864. Who this?
This KG.
What up, KG? What you got for the show?
Hey, this is my first time calling, but
Appreciate it.
I've been watching your work, and I like the work that you do. First of all, I just want to give you props on that.
Okay.
And I know that you're a big advocate of Ben Simmons, just like everybody is. I love him. I'm a Clemson fan. I'm from South Carolina.
Okay.
And I want to know what you think about that safety that was from Clemson that ran the combine good, converted him to outside linebacker for insurance for linebacker.
Vanderich.
What about that? What you think? Yeah.
You saying should we draft Isaiah Simmons and move him to linebacker just in case Vanderich don't work out?
Well, not Vanderich, but the safety out of Clemson that was in. I think his name Hush. You familiar with that name?
Hell no, I don't know him.
The safety out of Clemson.
What song he sing? I ain't know. Nah, I don't. You talking about I don't want to. But whatever. Talking about the white kid. He hung up the phone. Muse. Okay. I know Tanner Muse. I'm like, who's Hush? I'm like, the white kid. Okay, I know Tanner Muse. Yeah. That was weird. DeVaris Perry, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Doski Woski?
What you got? What's good, my guy? I like that energy, man. What you got for the show?
Hey, boss, just TP from NC, man.
Oh, okay. What, you got a new number?
No, I'm just using my son's phone. He don't think I talk to you every now and then. He don't think I talk to you.
Oh, you absolutely. Hey, man. I'd have been let you on the phone, bro. I just ain't know it was you, fam. My bad. TP, what you got, my man?
Hey, look here. The homeboy was trying to talk. He was really trying to say Isaiah Simmons. I knew what he was trying to say.
I knew what he was
got
saying.
confused, you know what I'm saying?
Right. He said,
Yeah.
look, he was watching basketball. He said, Ben Simmons. I get it. I know he
Hey, look, Voch, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. But look here. What do you think about that kid, that offensive tackle from Charlotte, man?
Got some good size. Pretty good size. Senior Bowl guy, right? Senior Bowl guy, right?
Yeah, I heard he a mold, man.
Yeah. He physical. He just got to work on his hands and his feet. So like I say, man, he probably gonna be a later round guy. But hey man, you work on his hands and feet, he'll probably be a little better. But that's if you can get that right, though.
Right. And I got one more thing to say, man. Mm-hmm. Everybody talking about Dak's contract.
Sure.
People got to understand that Jerry's not stupid.
Right.
Jerry's trying to wait on. He's trying to wait on the CBA and see what's out there.
Okay.
It's not that he's trying to disrespect Dak. He gonna pay that.
Sure.
He gonna pay that. Everybody needs to chill out. He gonna pay that.
Sure.
But the thing that is, Jerry's a businessman. Jerry ain't stupid.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to tell everybody, man. He gonna pay him.
Sure.
What you think?
I just think that, I think that the media is talking about this so much because they ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Believe that.
I don't watch TV, but I do get the recommendeds down in my, YouTube feed or whatever. First Take been talking about Dallas for 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, First Take been just talking about Dak Prescott. They just ain't got nothing else to talk about. Dak gonna get paid. I mean, hell, Zeke and D-Law got paid. Why the hell would the quarterback not get paid? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I get so tired of that Shannon Sharp on the world to do.
Yeah, man. It's just that the quarterback position is gonna cost a lot of money, and Jerry Jones just trying not to put the team in a compromising position. People saying why Jerry ain't signed Dak yet. Well, it take both sides. Dak agent needs to agree to a number, and we'll just go from there.
Hey, right. Hey, take it easy, man. I just wanted to holler at you. This TP still alive, baby.
TP from D. Listen, man. It's the off season, so I know from DC. My bad. NC. My bad. Listen, man. I understand it's the off season. You a busy man or whatever, but when August come around, you a lot more frequent in August. So I know it's all good, man.
Yes, it's all good. And I hope to see y'all down at Arsenal. So I will be there.
Hey, man. I'm working on it. That might be a thing, but we'll see about it.
All right. See you later, boy. Peace and peace. Peace and peace.
TP from NC. Appreciate you, man. Let's get back to the chat box. See what y'all talking about. Please, HMNI Kadozi, I would love to know what you like about Netani Moody. I just would love to know it. It seemed like you was a fan of him in the comment section of the video or whatever. We talking about it here. I just want to know. I want to know the vibes. I want to know the vibes. Aaron says, "Do you like Bradley or not?" I do. He'll pass rush for me. He'll strictly be a pass rush guy for me. But as a pass rusher, I don't hate him. I don't hate him as a pass rush. I don't hate him as a pass rush. Lane the legend, Gulfport, Mississippi. What up, Coast? What up, Coast? Boy, I was going to school in Hattiesburg, boy. I used to stay in Biloxi, boy. I used to stay in Gulfport, boy. I had the homie in Kosciuszko. I used to stay out on the coast, boy. Salute to the coast, man. Salute to the coast. Except Ocean Springs. We lost to them in my senior year in the playoffs. I don't like Ocean Springs. They can go somewhere. They can leave immediately, expeditiously, indubitably. Voch, what do you think of that edge rush from Boise State? The fat kid, Curtis Weaver. I'll tell you what, man. Sometimes I would rather see a player lose impressively than to win reps against scrubs. And Curtis Weaver got a lot of wins against scrubs. I was just looking, I'm like, man, I don't know how he winning. I don't know how he beating the hell out of these kids, but he get his numbers, he gets production. I just don't think he'll be able to. Like if you watch Kayvon Chason, right? Chason will impressively get pressure on a quarterback and not sack him. You know what I mean? And that means a lot more to me than casually beating somebody. Casually. So he does his job, though. I can't hate on him. Could Tanner Muse convert to a linebacker? I think that's what he was asking, man. He was saying Hush. I'm like, who is Hush? I don't know no damn Hush. Yeah. Tanner, I mean, I tell you what, man. If you look at the linebackers in this class, you look at the App State guy, you look at your Oregon guy, you look at your Oklahoma guy, your LSU guy. You got a whole bunch of guys that are small. You got smaller guys that can run. You got smaller guys that can run. That's what it is, man. And I think that's kind of where the league is going, man. But hey, we got to be careful because one day running the football gonna get popular again, and you don't want to be stuck with small linebackers. But sure, Tanner can pull that shit off. Yeah, let him put him at put him at like Will or something. Keep him clean and let him run. He's bigger, but then again, he's a box safety. Let him just be a bigger box safety. I don't mind that. I don't mind box safety. Yeah, I don't mind that. Dax Camp wants a 3-year deal. They know the salary cap is getting pushed. Get your money now. They negotiate. Any insight on Nolan's scheme? Nah, it's early. Voch, I'm gonna keep it 100. I only watched the highlights. I checked out your long scouting report and didn't focus on defeat and those repeated defeats you taught me about. Yo, man, give me a hug, bro. Cadoza, give me a hug, man. Give me a hug, man. I appreciate that so much, man. I appreciate growth. I appreciate growth in this community, and in the draft community, the football community as well. Because hey, I tell y'all what, chat box, listen up right now, man. There are a lot of idiots in this community, football fan wise, right? There are plenty idiots in this thing. Y'all run across them. Plenty. And I don't mean like uninformed people, because there are some Cowboy fans that are uninformed, some draft people that are uninformed, but we can still save them. We can still save them people. I ain't talking about the uninformed people. It's okay to be. I'm uninformed. I'm uninformed on who the hell Hush. What do you say? What my boy said tonight? Hush Simmons. I don't know him neither. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Ben Simmons from Clemson and Hush and Hush the safety from Clemson or whatever. I'm uninformed on that. It's okay to be uninformed because you can fix uninformed. But stupid is something different. Ignorant is something different. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that you watched the highlight tape. You heard my disdain. You took in my point, and you simply said, I get it, Voch. That's all. You ain't got to take my – you can still love him. I think he undraftable. We can disagree, and you can say he a 6th-round pick. That's fine. I love growth in this community, man. Chat box, can we clap it up for growth in this community? Can we get some emoji hand claps in the chat box for Cadoza for growth? Because we ain't got a lot of growth in football, man. There's too many idiots in football, man. Hand clap emoji for growth, man. I appreciate you, fam. That means a lot to me. Jake, great question. Let's see what Jake had to say. What's a player in the league now that you like as a one tech? I know you don't like one techs. I ain't got a problem with one techs necessarily. It's more of a born hate for one techs. Like I play center, so I don't like one techs in that way. But I just don't think the league. First of all, I don't think there are any elite one techs in the league. I just don't think they exist. Elite one techs, I don't think they exist in the league. I think we're transitioning from fat kids playing one tech because it's like people got to run now. You got to run in the National Football League. And I think that you can't have an elite nose in this day and age because you'll just put them at 3 tech. Like if you're a big-ass kid and you athletic, they'll just put you at 3 tech. I know Vita Vea's a big athletic guy. But he the exception. Like, he big as hell. He can run. But for the most part, like, Snacks Harrison not going to exist anymore, man. So I just grade one text differently. I grade one text differently. Because if you just want a penetrating A-gap player, then that's different. That's fine. You know what I mean? I just don't think that, I think if you got a really good defensive tackle talent, put him at 3 tech. Put him at 3 tech. And if he's a little bigger and not as great, then I think 1 tech is the land of husky ass 3 techs. I think that's a good way for me to kind of sum it up and describe it. 1 techs are the land of husky ass 3 techs. I saw PFF mock Kyle Duggar in the first. Mock Kyle Duggar in the first round after the combine. He was the guy I was hoping Dallas would get in the third. What's your thoughts? Fam, if somebody get Kyle Duggar in the first round, let's clap it up for him, man. Let's just clap it up for them getting Kyle Duggar in the man. We good, dog. Arsenal's better than Hollow. That's a bit different. That's a different take. Some people love Arsenal though. I don't necessarily agree, but some people love Arsenal. Head Ice is underrated. Wolf Love. Shit. Harlem every day, all day. I see everything. I control everything, pardon me. I control everything. Ice. Yeah, man, Head Ice is very underrated, man. I'm a big fan of Head Ice, but like he ain't top tier or nothing. He ain't great. But boy, Ice be talking that shit. Ice be talking to him, dog. Ice be talking to him. Let's see. I don't get it. He's got strength, but those feet. He got upper body strength, and upper body strength more so leads into point of attack stuff, into punching with your hands, and like shoving people or extending. That's what upper body use is for. But I think his lower body is not strong at all. Like you can engage with somebody and not push them and not move. Like if you watch Netani Muti, I keep want to call him Netane, but if you watch him, like he'll violently hit the shit out of somebody and they won't move. That just means his upper body is way stronger than his lower body. That's all that means. How much more time I got? I ain't got long. Let's see. Let me look at my OBS real quick. We at 128. I'm gonna give y'all about 7 more minutes. I'm gonna go back doing my laundry, packing my bags, and editing these videos. Isaiah Simmons at safety will strike fear into receivers and tight ends trying to cover over the middle. I wouldn't call Isaiah Simmons a big hitter though. I wouldn't call him that. That's interesting. And he's a good cover guy. He's a really good cover guy. Good athlete. Fantastic. Man, I love me some Isaiah Simmons. I wish he was there at 17. I wouldn't call him a big hitter, though. I wouldn't call him that. So in other words, 2 threes on. Hey, Joe, if I could have 2 threes on the field, let's do it. Oh, let's do it if I could have 2 threes. That'll be my offense. Like Indy run like 2 1s, and I hate that. Let me mess around and run 2 threes. Oh goodness. Shit, just plug the linebackers in them gaps. You got action, fam. Which position would one tech? Jordan Elliott is a husky ass 3 tech. Put him at 1. I think Claypool will be fine at receiver. Thank you. The funny part about Claypool and his 40 time, like his 40 times cool, but like he looks slow on film. Like you don't see that 40 on. You didn't see that at the Senior Bowl. You didn't see that on film, so I don't know. I don't know where the hell Chase bought his 40 from. I don't know if he got it from Walmart or from Academy or Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't know where he got that damn 40 from, but if you ain't doing that in pads, it don't matter. Boy, look, if you ain't running that what do you have, like a 4-4? If you ain't running that 4-4 in pads, it don't matter. David G says Albert O from Missouri in the third. No, sir. I ain't trying to draft tight end at all, but nah. I think everyone agrees he don't look fast on. Yeah, he don't. And some people will take that. They'll take that notion that he don't look fast on tape, and they'll still draft him high off the strength that he ran fast at the combine. I don't get it. I don't get it. You bought the Call of Duty speed mod. Thoughts on Winfield? When you get here? Aaron, when you tune in? Thoughts on Antoine Winfield? How long the show been going on before you hit the link? Oh goodness. Ezra Cleveland. So tired of talking heads. So tired of seeing talking heads mock safety to them. Yeah. I feel like it's unlikely. Will McClay doesn't seem to value the position. Am I wrong? You're not wrong. We don't normally go for safety in the first round. We just normally don't do it. It got to be some people off the board, I would say, for us to take safety. I mean, we value the defensive front, the offensive front. That's really what we value. Honestly, everything else we just kind of gotta, we just gotta play it by ear. Do some Akeem Gaither tape. The problem is, who the hell got Appalachian State film? Who got some all 22 for App State? People ask for a Kyle Duggar video. How? What you want me to get the Mars Hill film? Mars Hill. I hate intermediate direction small schools. I hate that. Southwestern Arkansas Community College. I hate that. Get out of here. Does Brown fall to the Cowboys in the first? Nah, I don't think so. I will say Derrick Brown looked a bit fat and husky and slow, I say. He looked fat, husky, and slow in the combine there. I will say that. But I don't think Derrick Brown falls to 17. Ask Duggar for his huddle password. No. I just don't think I'm gonna end up doing it. I'm just probably not gonna do that film session. We would know that draft is going to look. We absolutely, man. Hey, look, the conversation we're having now, it's gonna be a whole nother conversation. By the middle of April. Yeah, because we'll have a lot of free agent spots filled up, and we'll know exactly what we need by then. So we'll know. Well, thank you, Andrew Heidelberg. What do you think about James Prochet? I like him. We talking about James Prochet from SMU. Well, where is Southern Methodist anyway? Is it like a school? I mean, is that a church or a hospital? Like, your hospital got a football team, dog? Like, Southern Methodist. Like, come on. What that mean? I guess that's a religion school. I guess, like, TCU or Notre Dame, I guess. I don't know. But I like Prochet. Yeah, he's a bit smaller, but my problem is that he's small, not super athletically gifted guy. There are other guys like that, like Tyler Williams from Minnesota. I think KJ Hill from Ohio State's another guy that's like smaller, not the most athletic guy. If I want a smaller guy, like I want a super athletic dude that's small, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, James Prochet, what's good about him is that he just understands how to get over. He's more of a football player than an athlete. And there's a place for football players. You can use them and make them do yak things and quick game them and let him work his leverage, and you could probably find a spot for him. But running back Prochet, no, wide receiver Prochet, James Prochet from Southern Episcopal Pentecostal. Do Pentecostals got a football team? Do they have a religion football tournament? Like they should. That'll be fun. Have a religion football tournament, like a church school football tournament. That'll be fun. I'll watch off the strength. I just know SMU, TCU, and Notre Dame will probably be, Notre Dame probably smoke the hell out of them kids. Ain't like William and Mary. Ain't that like a religion school or something? Baylor cannot be a religious school. You kidding me? Southern Synagogue U? Oh boy. Hey, everybody, put in your religion school names. Put your religion schools in the chat box. Southern Synagogue U is hilarious. Oh God. Citadel, yes, I know Citadel exists. Brigham Young, I know. Okay, so we got some names in there. Okay. Will Seattle draft O-line? Hell nah. Isaiah Wilson from Georgia. You're a big old boy, ain't he, Drew? Jehovah Witness. Northwestern Jehovah Witness Coalition Society Community College. I got a question. So how many people I got in my chat box? I just want to make sure people still listening. I ain't talking to 5 people. 210, we good. Chat box, let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all hear anything from the Gross Matos hazing thing? like combine interviews or whatever. Cause I'm about to do a Mormon community. I'm about to do no ass you. Wait a minute, Rex. Rex said, no ass you. No ass you. Snow ass. Oh goodness. That's a no ass university. Shouts out to Broke Fire Broke. Yeah, so Gross Matos, did anybody interview him and ask him about the Penn State hazing scandal where they was putting their privates on the young children? Did anybody check up on that? Did anybody get any information on that? Because I don't think nobody heard about that. And in a time to where everybody's dirty laundry kind of gets pushed to the forefront, I don't think I've heard anybody talk about Gross Matos and his Penn State genital scandal. Ain't got no money, ain't got no clothes, ain't got no car, can't get no hoes. We broke, fire broke. We ain't got it. Hey man, I'm tell you something. If y'all don't know what broke fire broke is, we can't have a conversation, bro. We can't have a conversation if you don't know what the hell broke fire broke is, man. You wasn't outside. If you now look, if you young and you wasn't outside for broke fire broke, I can't hate on you. I can't hate on you if you just, you know what I'm saying, if you wasn't outside for broke fire broke. If you wasn't outside, but fam, you should know what the hell broke fire broke is, dog. You should know what the hell broke fire broke is. Classics. Chat box, y'all got any other questions before I get up out of here? Does Rager drop in the second round? I don't think so. I think Rager did a really good thing, man. Rager was probably going to run a 4.2 something, 4.3 maybe. But I think what he did was he put on weight and he ended up running slower. But Rager's still a damn 4.4 athlete. He's just a little thicker now. So I would rather have thicker receiver that can run a 4.4 than super skinny might get hurt receiver and run a 4.2. I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. So I don't hate what Jalen Rager did. I mean, it's not necessarily the it's not. I mean, you had expectation for Jalen Rager to run high 4.2, low 4.3s. You had the expectation, but I mean, if he put an arm on his body, he got to run with his armor, man. I don't hate that. Developmental quarterback prospect, they all suck to me, bro. So. You know, where does Denzel Mims rank on your wide receiver rankings? Too soon. It's still March. We got plenty of time to figure this out. I'll do official ranking videos in April. What do you think about Damon Arnett? I was watching Damon Arnett as I was watching Jeff Okudah. Jeff's so fantastic. Ohio State would put people in traps. Like, the offense to go score points. And can you imagine having to go against that defense forced to throw the ball with chasing the boys pass rushing, Hamilton in the middle, and Okudah and Damon Arnett playing man on the outside? Too high. Can y'all imagine that? Boy, Ohio State was going to be great. But yeah, Damon Arnett, he's a man cover guy. That's basically what he kind of guesses. He's not the best zone guy in the world, not a great tackler. But hey man, if you're within arm's reach of him, he's fine. There are some people giving him first round hype. I'm not with it. There's people giving him second round hype. I'm not with it. But if you take Damon Arnett like in the third or something like that, we can get jiggy. We can get jiggy with that. Could we get Jalen Hurts? You just tuned in, huh? You just got here, huh? Thoughts on Alden Robinson? You just got here, huh? Jalen Hurts can't throw. I like Alden Robinson a lot. Maybe a day 3 guy. But I do like Alden Robinson. I would like to draft him and make him a rotational guy. That's Alden Robinson from Syracuse, the edge player, and Jalen Hurts, the quarterback from Oklahoma. If the Cowboys draft a linebacker within the first 3 rounds, does it confirm that the Cowboys? No, I don't think that's the case. I just think that we only got like 3 linebackers and we just need depth. But I don't think we take any linebackers in the first few rounds because we don't need starters at linebacker. We need depth at linebacker. Plus, even if Van Der Esch gets hurt, linebacker is a position you feel like you can live from. You can live with Malcolm Smith playing linebacker. I can't live with bad defensive linemen. I've lived that life. I don't want to live in them all. So, I ain't trying to go linebacker early. We going to go linebacker late, but not early. Not early. I'm asking like 2 more questions, y'all. It's 9:40. I'm asking about 2. Thoughts on Antoine Winfield. Boy, you just got here. You just got here. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. You just tuned into the show. Had to be. He definitely just joined. Goodness. Tyler Huntley. Who is that? Who is Tyler Huntley? What position he play and what school he go to so I can research him? Yeah, Chaz just got here. Hey man, I talked about Antoine Winfield for hours, so please hit that rewind button, please. Please hit that rewind button. Strobridge, I like Strobridge, North Carolina, defensive tackle, edge player. We talked about him a little bit earlier, but I guess a lot of people came late. Yeah, he had a really good Senior Bowl. Tyler Huntley, quarterback from Utah. Oh, that's why, because I watch quarterbacks like late, especially like late round quarterbacks. I've gotten through 7 quarterbacks. I got through 7 of them. And boy, I felt really good about not having to watch no more. Like, buddy, I felt fantastic about not having to watch no more quarterbacks. But I'm just not. Pardon me, Montez too, Stephen Montez. So I've watched 8 quarterbacks. Yeah. I just haven't gotten no. I don't think there's a reason to watch 7-round quarterbacks right now, or late round quarterbacks right now. I'll get to them later. Ask me about him in April, and I'll have a response for you. But let's see. 2 more questions, and we gone. Voch, how do you decide what film to watch on a guy? I type in their game logs. I go to the game logs, and I just look at their stats for a second. I hate stats, but stats do tell you the story about how the game went, kind of, sort of. And I used to only watch like 3 games, but I got all 22 now, and they're more fun to watch than broadcast view. So what I'll do is, depending on the round that I think the player might go, is how many games I'll watch. I really want to be right about the first 32 guys. Everybody else, I'll watch like 3 games. And, some positions I can watch 1 game and get a good idea for a player, But for the most part, if I'm watching like a D lineman or something, man, I'll watch their highest produced game, their lowest produced game, and then I'll look for like a talent game. And then I'll look for how they did against like a WAC school. Not like a New Mexico State, but a WAC school, like a WAC school for them. Like they play like Boise or something. In which Boise is a good school to Lenore Ryan, but like if Alabama played Boise, they beat the shit out of them. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends. So when I was watching Derrick Brown, I watched Florida because he had an interception somehow in that game. He didn't do too much Alabama, so I watched that, and that's when I realized 65 beat the shit out of him. And then I watched him against some competition. So then I watched his LSU game, and the LSU kids, they kind of got smoked by Derrick Brown. And that's kind of where I built my assessment on Derrick Brown or whatever. Like I said, sometimes I can watch an offensive lineman for a little bit, and I can tell exactly, because that's just my expertise. I know what I'm looking at with offensive linemen. Other players, other positions, I may have to watch like 3 or 4 games, but I'll get it. I'll get there. But yeah, good question. Uncle Dave, he says, "Yo, Voch, I've been away too long. What's up, man? I'm chilling, Uncle Dave, working, doing this draft stuff, cooling and all that. Gee. Matt Z says, Voch, will you do a film review of our draft class? How? Boy, look. Well, how about this though, Matt Z? I don't know if you was around for Cowboy season, but I did. Tristan Hill ain't played but like 2 plays, but that was like in Miami. And I did film on Tristan Hill. Every time Tony had a big ass game, I did film on. You just ain't been around. Yeah, go look. I did Tony film, a lot of Tony film. And I did like everybody else. I did like college film, preseason stuff. Donovan Wilson, I did. So just type it in. Please type it in. Everybody listening right now, if y'all have a question about anything I may have done, type it in. I've probably done it. I'm very thorough on this channel. I do a lot of film. Whoo, Voch, what if worse fall to us? Pull that trigger? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I pull the trigger on Tristan Wirfs. Boy, I just don't think he's going to be there. But, man, Tristan Wirfs, in a minute, put his ass right at left guard, put Connor Williams be swing tackle, McGovern be at the crib. Hell yeah, give me Tristan Wirfs. Shit, see if he can play left tackle too. I think he can, but I think he a better guard. But, whew. But y'all know I'm offensive line biased, so I'm O-line biased, and I believe in overkill. So I'll take 5 first-round offensive linemen. So please don't even ask me that. Don't ask me. I'll do it. Thoughts on Ron Leary. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. This was fun. Salute to y'all for being here, man. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate the calls. I appreciate the super chats. Robbie Skywalker. Robert was in church. Skywalker Steel, J-Rock, Jake Downey was giving me $5 back. J-Rock came back again. And Uncle Dave, Steelios 300. Appreciate all y'all for super chatting. Appreciate y'all supporting and holding it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. For a little housekeeping before we leave, my merch winners for the month. I'm still waiting on Dylon to hit me back, but Dylon's gonna get a shirt whenever he send me his address. T-Rod, I'm about to mail his out really soon. And Nova Legion's gonna get some merch too. It's my Patreon merch. My Patreon merch giveaway. We do it monthly. So don't ask me about Ron Leary, dog. So yeah, if y'all wanna join my Patreon, every tier gets entered into the Patreon merch giveaway. It happens every single month. Showing my appreciation, giving back to you. So hey, salute to y'all, man. I'm about to go break down this film, do some laundry, fold some clothes, text my old lady, and pack my bags. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, the Peasky Whiskey, man. Salute.